Okay. Welcome in, everybody. What day is it? What year is it? That's what it feels like right now. Okay. That's going. Let's get the chat set up. Oliver, hello, welcome in. Oliver, I know you had a suggestion yesterday when we were doing the secret stream. I was not able to write it down, so if you have it, let me know. I hope your physics test went well. The stream's current bitrate is 100 kilobytes. That is not... Well, that was a lie. Okay, cool. Cool. So, let's do that. Let's get everyone's suggestion set up so that we can do that. And then, like I said, Oliver, if you have yours, please let me know. I remember right, it was like a Roman centurion or something. Unless you put it on the viewer suggestion. Bonjour. Da, ba, ba. Uh-oh. Did I lose some? I feel like I lost some. Hold on a second. Dang it. Hold on. Hold on. No, that's right. Okay, we're good. No, it's not. We're missing two. What happened? No, we're good. A large imposing Roman centurion with a spear and a shield. Gotcha. Male human fighter. Okay. I like that better. Thank you for following the the rule constructs. Do that in a lot of parts, but here we go. Yep, that works. Okay. We should be on Twitch and YouTube today, so I hope that works out for everybody. I'm snacking on tofu, so it's weird like that. Let's start with the rugby. Let's draw rugby today. Like we normally do. And part of the course. It is almost Christmas. So maybe we'll do a Krampus rugby.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Atomic Sorcery, welcome in. How's everybody's week so far? Hope everybody's doing all right. The weather's getting a little fickle. It's been not so cold this year, which is good, but it's been raining a lot. So, let's see how that goes. Grumpy. A Krugby. Crumpy? Crumpy sounds good. That's how it goes, Oliver. Not everybody participates in chat, which is fine. That is... Twitch, I don't care about stories or anything else. I just want to see that my stream is running properly. What is happening? What is happening? There we go. Okay. We are also doing Impsember, which is we'll draw little imps, little Krampuses for super chats and bit donations this month, I guess. We drew some fun ones yesterday. We kind of need to overhaul everything. This year's been really weird because streaming was all over the place and I had a whole bunch of medical stuff. But like next year, I want to get back into like actual building the community again. So if you guys, you ladies, people, goblins, kobolds, whatever you are, have suggestions for things you would like me to add to the channel, please let me know. Whether that's like bit goals or what are they called? Scoreboards, etc. Change the soundboard up, like special sounds people want. Let me know. I will be taking all those suggestions. I got another like Teespring thing set up. So now people can go get kobold shirts. Again. So I haven't done that in a while. That was a horrible noise. One of my guilty pleasures is Panda Express. But the closest Panda Express to me is like 25 minutes away. So I just learned how to cook all the food. So yesterday I made a whole bunch of chow mein, like Panda Express style chow mein. I love it. I love it. I'm just going to eat it all day. That's my plan. Little Krampus rugby here. Should I give him goat ears instead of his normal rugby ears? It's pretty good. I found an old sketchbook with some like proto rugbies in it. That was pretty weird. This is not D&D music. Please stop. There's been a huge thing on the internet for like ancient Rome, and I don't get it. I don't get where it's coming from. Like the resurgence of people caring about it. I guess when I was younger, like I had books of like Roman weapons and armor and stuff for references that I loved when I had them, but yeah, that was, I don't know, a long time ago. I don't know what caused this resurgence. Okay. I think that's pretty good rugby. Well, you may not think you are, but you are. It's okay, though. Because everybody likes it, so. I think it's because they want to be destroyed by Goths. Wait, what? You're going to have to explain that, Atomic. Is there like a... Is it a pun or something that I don't get? And it's not actually about ancient Rome? Because even though I don't care about it, like, I'm talking about it. So I'm feeding into the problem. Him and the Krampus Rugby. Today's going to be a good day. I hope so. You all have to suffer through me eating lunch while we work. Because I got shit to do today. Elvin Hare, I hope you're doing well today. Welcome in. We're going to call it the Crampy. Crampy's the way to do it. I used to be a punk kid. And I had a mohawk before mohawks were cool. But really, I had a mohawk 20 years after they were cool. And 5 years before they were cool again. So, it happens. It happens. It's a historical pun, but also a horny thing. Oh. Oh, did the Romans lose to a bunch of Dommy mommies? Is that the right word? I don't know if I'm using that right. I could be using that wrong. Honestly, just trying to be a person today. I know that feeling. Rough day yesterday. I had to come back normal today. I had some caffeine on Monday, so I did not sleep yesterday. Feeling good today, though. It sucks that my body can't handle a little bit of caffeine. Because I like the feeling of using caffeine. I don't like the come down. Per the, addiction rules. But luckily caffeine is not something that screws me over for more than a day. Goth barbarians and goth girls. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. Okay. I'm starting to get it. Thank you, Atomic, for clearing that up. Alright, let's look at our list today. It's a pretty good list. It's like 20-something. Let's see what we're going to draw. Well, you asked Elvin here that, Oliver, but I can answer something. It's never too late to start a module. Like, you can always just grab modules that exist and run them. There's a lot of free ones online. I didn't get it until I saw a meme. Ah, okay. I'll have to look for that meme. No, why? Why did you do this, computer? I did not mean to click on Discord and put it on a different monitor. Why would you even think that's what I wanted? I'm in a DM for Blair. What I can give you. My big advice for people when they're starting new DMings is to, not homebrew anything. Run everything from modules a little bit until you get really comfortable with it. You can definitely add flavor, like if you want your own gods or something, that's fine, or your own race of things, that's fine. Like having certain folks act differently than they do in the book. There's nothing wrong with that. But the less you make, the less work you're going to give yourself and the less stress you're going to have. So, beyond that, yeah. Oh my god, this D&D playlist is terrible. I don't know what's going on. The Queen's Jig. Cool. No, thank you. Marauding Vagabonds. That might be good. We'll try that out. For all of what I've learned from you, I thought you were a veteran. I mean, Elvenair's kind of a veteran. I haven't been a DM or a player yet. Oh, maybe not. Elvenair's tricked us all. So don't wait. Let's roll some dice. I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted by food and like dirty glasses, and I'm covered in sap because I was moving logs around, and now everything is kind of weird. I rolled a 4, which is a, I don't know what this word is. Kumiho? Bard of Fire and Illusion. The main color scheme is pink and black with a little bit of purple mixed in. So that's a lot of colors. I'm going to be using red. We'll see how that goes. I have to look this up. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a kitsune. Okay. It's a Korean kitsune. Perfect. All right, I'll use orange. But it could be white. What was the color? Pink? All right, I'll shift to pink just because it's the first one I can pick a color. So we'll try a little bit of pink. And now Discord has closed everything. What happened? What is going on today? What's going on here? Seems like the campaign is doomed to fail. I'm afraid people have made characters from locations and such that are ashes upon locations I've made. I mean, so not every character works for every campaign, and that's just something you kind of have to figure out. But that being said, like, there's never, is it doomed to fail because the characters aren't going to work with your story? Because if that's the case, that's an easy fix. Oh my god, why so much flute? It's all the same person. I'm sorry, John Fox. Your music is fine. I just don't want it on this playlist. So I apologize for all the trash talking. Such that are based upon locations I have made. Okay. Yeah, like that doesn't matter. Like you can drop them right into any of the modules, and then just like, oh yeah, they're from a place that, you know, they don't readily have access to get back to, or you as a DM have to talk about later. I did that a lot. Like for the Pathfinder, all my stuff is set in Galarian, but it's set in parts of Galarian that just don't exist. Like, right? I can say, if you're doing Faerun, you could just say like, you know, this is a city south of Baldur's Gate or south of Neverwinter, and it's like, sure, someone who knows that map in their mind's like, there's nothing there. It's like, there's in my world. Like that's it. Right, so you can keep a lot of that stuff and not have to build a lot of it out, and just, you know, put in what you want to make it work. And you don't have to worry about it. The only reason that like maps and such work or will hurt you rules as written is if your players bounce between sessions and campaigns, which is what used to happen in older editions. Like you could just take your character and bring it with you and play at a different game or play in a different, like go to a different game shop and play with people. Like that's what the character sheet was, essentially your save button, and you could bring your character to anybody else's game. So that's when it mattered that things were the same. It's not really the case anymore. Unless you're playing Adventure League, which is still very much the case. So I can bullshit my way through it. Sounds about right. This is difficult. Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing. The two things that are important about being a DM, being consistent and being confident about it. That's it. That's all you have to do. You can change the rules and like, you know what? No, I'm going to do this. And as long as you're consistent about that rule change, people aren't going to care. This is how I deal with grappling. This is how I deal with gold. Nope, dwarves aren't like that in my campaign. It's like, as long as you're consistent, you can change any of the rules you want. Sorry about the mouth noises. I made the chow mein, and I made like deep fried tofu last night. Oh, it's so good. Some homemade katsu sauce. Bam. Delicious. I'm not certain I have the mental capacity to build one world from scratch and also memorize things from another that I haven't made and such, and then of course keep track of character progression. Notebooks. Buy notebooks. Yeah. Keep notes. Alright, well, Oliver, if you are dead set on not switching, then keep what you got and don't worry about it. I made this nose too big. I made a dog instead of a fox. Am I super zoomed in? Am I drawing really tiny? Hold on a second. How big am I drawing? No, we're good. We're good. We're good. I did. I made... The nose is too long. The nose should be like the same distance from the eyes. So we're going to do this. We're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to go like that. What is happening? There we go. Ah, I'm drawing with gray. That's what happened. Okay, I accidentally picked up the wrong color. They don't have a big bottom jaw. Just draw a little fennec bard here. Start singing to the tune of My Sharona, but building all my non-canon versions of the campaign world. Oh, my, for okay. I don't know how you would put Faerun into Sharona, but if you need help with world building, need something like a local map or local areas, I'd be happy to help with that on Discord. There you go, Oliver. If you want, you can message. Well, you can either use the Discord or you can message Atomic, I guess. Atomic Sorcery. Another good thing talking about that. If you are playing, let's say, you're in a custom world and it's not Faerun, and you'd like it to be, it's really as simple as just sending them on a quest that sends them to the parts of the world that they need to be in. Like, there's no reason that you couldn't take a campaign like The Lost Mines of Phandelver and just, whenever it's like, send them to Baldur's Gate, don't. Just send them to your city. Like, that's it. like there's this big misconception, I think, that I run into from time to time about, like, my homebrew world doesn't fit with this. And it's like, it can. Like, the story beats in a module are just that. They're story beats. Like you don't have to use the exact characters. You don't have to use the exact locations. They give you lots of great stuff like maps and characters and resources, so you don't have to worry about those things. But you shouldn't feel trapped by it. I'm pretty sure this was a bard, but I don't know if it told me what instrument they use. You can always file off the serial numbers and rule the redaction Xerox yourself. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you guys want to talk that stuff, like, that's what the D&D chat in the Discord is for. So, that kind of stuff is great. Bard of Fire and Illusion. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. No instrument. It's just, I'm just going to do like spirit wispy motes, I think. The module is, at its very core, just a tool to use. How you use it is up to you. Yeah. I use, I think it's Sandpoint, which is one of the Rise of the Rune Lord starting locations. It's a good city. It's a nice little city, and I use that model for a lot of places when I make little cities. It's like, oh yeah, you got the Goblin Squash stables. You got two bars competing with each other. Pretty good. Yeah, good start is not easy to define. I do know a lot of people that try to start with a map. Kevin the Necromancer being one of them. And it's like, if that's how you tell your story, great. But at the same time, you can get away with a lot of story with no map. Like, defining your story, writing a campaign is really more creative writing than anything else. Because yeah, depending on how you want to tell your story could take place in, you know, a town, in a building, just one building, dungeons, etc. Like, it's all subjective. There's no real way to be like, yeah, that's great. But having those things can be good if they fit for your story. One of the first campaigns I ever wrote, I basically tried to write it out the way some of the modules were set up, but I didn't write it in a way that was conducive to having characters play it. So by the time I introduced my characters, they wanted to do things that weren't what I had planned, and it was just basically just tons and tons of never used content, which is kind of the blight of the DM, but there's ways to mitigate it. Now I generally just write the setting, and then I write like the next two steps and like a general overview of what I want to do with the campaign. And then I write it as I go. Alien Dinosaur Smuggler campaign. That sounds good. If you like the Tomb of Annihilation example, there's no reason that you wouldn't be able to land their traveling spaceship in Port Cole. Okay. Shoot. I never know how to say that. Chull? Chuul? Take a shuttle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Oliver, that's something you have to kind of ask yourself as you play. Like, you need to know your players. Because, yeah, there's many times, even when you're using the modules, that you'll run into situations where the players want more structure. Like, the book will essentially say, like, this person murdered this person. Enjoy. And you're like, okay, well, now I know what's happening in the setting. How do the players get there, or is it even important to them? That's the real job of the DM. To help the players navigate the world. So it sounds like you have a good base. The rest is just playing and trying it. Writing a good scenario to get them interested in what you want them to look at. I tend to find that my players don't really care about lore dumps. Like, sometimes they'll get interested and want to know more about something, and then it's like, okay, now I have to decide what part of this information to give you. But I've also found that a lot of times, really what they're asking is, what the hell's going on? Like, I want to read this book, and it'll tell me where the big bad evil guy is. And it's like, I could do that. Or I could try to disseminate something that might give you a hint. My biggest suggestion to you would be read the Dungeon Master Guide from Pathfinder, 1st edition. It's got some of the best DM advice that I've seen. Or go watch some Coville videos. Matt Coville, yeah. He does some really good, like, intro DM guides. But a lot of it is just letting your players have, freedom. Never take away player agency. If they're not into your story, change your story. Like, that's all there is to it. My best advice for DMs, and this is the advice I give everybody, and you've probably heard it before, and I'll say it again. Don't be afraid to take a minute. If your players throw something at you, you're not sure, you're getting frustrated because your people aren't doing what you want them to do, your monster gets one shot, take 5 minutes. Just tell everybody, like, okay, we're going to pause for a second. I need to figure this out. Because a lot of the troubles and struggles I've had playing Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder all stem from kind of getting frustrated and doing something that then has to be either retconned later or just, doesn't feel good. Take your time. And that can work for players too. If you see your players getting frustrated, it's just like, everyone take 5 minutes. Let's talk it out. I didn't realize it until much, much later, but one of my first DMs was really good at that. But part of the reason he was really good at that is because he took constant smoke breaks. And so he would just be like, I need to smoke. And he would get up and he'd leave and he'd think about what the next part of the quest would be for like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Then he'd come back and have something great for us. So I'm so jazzed that MCDM is making their own RPG. I don't know what that is. What is that? My only module adventure I own is Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and I would just like what I can. Just use what I can from the lore and adventure. At the point, just have fun. Yeah. Have fun and cause trauma. yeah. Well, that's really all there is to it. The modules can be great. And, like, there's been... The Rise of the Rune Lords has probably been one of the most influential things on me for a long time. Because it teaches you how to play a few different styles. Like, there's a murder mystery, there's some haunts. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff in it. And it's like, those are just great little elements you can add to your game. Seducing a storekeeper's daughter, or I guess getting seduced by a storekeeper's daughter. That was really fun. It's a fun little mini episode thing to throw into a campaign at any point in time. You strike the fancy of a village commoner whose father owns the one of the shops. It's just navigating it. It's fun. Yeah. Oh, Matt Coville. Okay, got it. Matt Coville's company's MCDM. That makes sense. Yeah, Oliver, that's also a good point. Excuse me. Not taking things too seriously. This was really, really bad a few years ago too. There's a lot of people who were wanting to get into D&D, and they were having I think they called it the Mercer effect, of just like expecting the game to be this like really dramatic, kind of over dramatized thing. It's like, no, I mean, it's a bunch of people hanging out having fun. It can be dramatic, it can be serious, but don't expect your DM to be Matt Mercer unless you are Laura Bailey, you know. Those people are professionals. They're professional actors. They've played a lot before they started playing. Yep, just have fun. It's a game. The YouTube chat isn't working, at least for my phone. The poll is up and blocking me. That's weird. Fixed it, okay. Welcome in, Bri. An orb of slope detection. Isn't that just an orb? Or is that the joke? That it's just a rock. Hello, everyone, pumpkin. Yeah, I really liked that little... It's pretty funny because the way the book sets it up is... I guess this is kind of spoilers for Rise of the Rune Lords, but it's been out forever, so I don't care. One of the townkeep's daughters takes fancy to the highest charisma character in the party, which is great. And I think that's fun. So like you putting those in there, it's just like instead of writing something to a specific character, that's what the modules do. Is they're like, okay, this is how you choose. This is a way to choose that, and it works really well with haunts too, because like the person with the most strength has this, or the person with the weirdest background has this happen to them. That's a good way to write. Instead of, unless you know exactly who you're playing for, which most of the time you do, and so you can do that. You can just say like, this is going to happen to this person, and it'll be fun. But then, yeah, she constantly like tries to seduce the player, and like gets them to come back to their house, and then the father catches them, and then the father is mad at the party. Like that's the intent, and the players can like hide, and like you just keep doing it, and eventually, the sister of that girl gets murdered, and the father blames the party. That's the story hook, right? But like having that event happen is just, it's a great. It feels really funny because like you get the chance to like, maybe if they do have a bard, like someone's flirting with a bard, and they're like, oh, this is fun. So like, yeah, it's great. It's a bunch of little tiny encounter interactions that happen to set a story in motion later. And I think that's great. But it's really hard to write that way. It's really hard to write that way. And sometimes you have to write backwards to do that. But that's, once again, creative writing. And that's what I think DMing is. DM is one part creative writing, one part improv, and the rest is just making shit up and being confident about it. Which I guess that's what most of improv is anyways. All right. I think I'm done with this. I think this is a good little... I don't know how Druid does that. Like, he'll just create shapes and then fill them in with color, and I can't do it. It just doesn't work the same way for me. I guess he uses layers. Maybe I'll try different layers. Layers and bigger brushes. Goobs, hello, hello. Can you draw a request? Also, can you type my phone broke? Also, can you type my phone broke? What do you mean, can I type? I don't know. Yeah, fill bucket? Maybe it's the fill bucket. I don't think so. If you want me to type so you can hear me, I cannot do that. But, yeah. This is, in fact, the joke. The rock is a purpose. The last person to touch it has in their head the purpose of the rock. Huh. So it's a cursed item. All right, I'm going to roll the next one. I will do this one time. I need to make a chat for the rules for the disc, like, I want cursed hot potato, where the last person to touch the potato feels like their hand is burning until someone else takes it. Interesting. Cursed swords can be a lot of fun. Or like a cursed gem. I could see that being like a hot potato. I'd be down for that. I'm going to roll some dice here. 13. A three-headed hydra sitting like a dog in a small boat. I'm pretty sure I drew that like 3 weeks ago. Maybe I did not. That kind of breaks the rules, but I will draw a monster. I think that's fine. Seeing as how we have blue. Okay, and chat. Thank you for whoever broke that. That sounds like a bunch of cursed items. I don't know if that's whimsical as much as just, having cursed items. Cursed items are fun. Don't get me wrong, but don't make every item in your game a cursed item. Once everything is a mimic, then everything is a mimic. Two on the nose? No, I think it's fine. I think there's two types of cursed items. One people want to get rid of, and one that people covet. Like something that you get that is a detriment, like it has a negative effect on it. The other one is something that they just don't want to get rid of, and other people want. So, like, yeah. The Kobold Bard picture, good lord, it's amazing. Thank you. Let me give you one. I'm going to put it on a shirt. I just have not gotten around to doing that. I should probably do that today.
What up?
How's it going, Inferno? You are on Twitch and YouTube, so heads up.
Is this the internet?
Yes. How are you doing today?
Yeah. I mean, it's December.
Fair enough. Like the magic card Curse of Opulence? Opulence? Curse of Opulence? I don't know what that one is, Atomic. You immediately have one shirt sold. Okay, well I will get that set up, and I will put a link somewhere in the Discord for it. What was I drawing? I forgot what I was drawing. Oh, a Hydra. Hydra on a boat. This feels a little this feels a little fan arty. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand why it's in a boat. And the fact that it's supposed to be sitting like a dog makes you think of Cerberus, which I guess is not a Hydra, so touche.
Heck. It does have many heads, though. I liked the Krampus the other day.
Good. That's a secret, so we can't talk about it. It goes in the secret. It's a secret.
That's why I only said Krampus. I did not say anything else.
I had to make a last-minute ad. Fixed it. Bri, if you change something on the viewer suggestion post, I will not see it. You have to change it. You'll have to change it like in the YouTube chat or the Discord chat, because I don't even know which suggestion was yours anymore. Once I put them on the list, they're all over the place. If it doesn't get drawn today, I can check it and then change it for Friday, but you might just have to yell at me if it does pop up. I don't know how dogs sit. How do dogs sit?
I think the answer is multiple ways.
Well, that's not helpful.
Are they sitting on something or in something?
It says in a boat, which once again, that doesn't, like, it's not helpful.
That doesn't help.
Yeah. I feel like I'm drawing somebody's YouTube channel thumbnail or something.
Let me.
Oh, it's a magic card. Okay. Oh, lordy. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a colorless artifact token named gold. Okay. Oh, it just creates gold tokens? Okay. Oh. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's a little weird. That's kind of a funny... That would be a good curse, actually. Like a shield or armor that every time you get attacked, gold goes everywhere. just shatters.
Why am I perpetually broke?
Goblins just beat you up, trying to do 1 damage every time. Just, I like the idea that hydras and trolls essentially are so kind of feral because of how regeneration works. Like, just because their heads regrow doesn't mean that they get any of their knowledge back. So they're constantly just, like, getting murdered and then immediately regenerating and being like, I was just born today with this giant troll body. It's like, oh no. What does +1 weapon mean? Oliver, that scares me that you don't know that. I would suggest reading the DM guide. Highly suggest reading the Dungeon Master Guide and the Player's Handbook. +1 weapons means you get +1 to your attack rolls and your damage rolls. Yeah. I think. Ooh. There was something weird about... Yes, okay, because Pathfinder has the Masterwork weapons, which only gives you a +1 to hit. I think the +1 weapons give you a +1 to both. Even worse, what if the gold isn't yours, but from an ancient dragon horde? So the dragon eventually comes to get you from it? That could be good. You scared me there, Oliver, because I had to think about it. I was like, I mean, do I know what that means? I hope so.
Why is it always the slowest part of the year is supposed to be the slowest for a reason?
I don't know what that means.
Wow.
There's a new Godzilla movie coming out. I'm kind of excited for it.
The -1.
Yeah.
I have heard that it is a quite good Godzilla movie.
Good. Yeah, Oliver, I would once again not worry about making a whole bunch of stuff until you actually have the game going.
Yeah, and don't overthink it, and don't overplay it.
Yeah. There's a large amount of like homebrew that I get salty about on the internet because it's made by people that aren't playtesting. Like, they're just like, I made a thing. Here's the thing. It's just like, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
like
that sounds cool, but
it sounds great.
Tried it.
Yeah. Please playtest. Please playtest before submission. I don't want to stifle people's creativity. Like, definitely keep making stuff.
Yeah.
But
reminds me of like 90% of the custom stuff on DM's Guild.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, we were playing Pathfinder, we started a 5e game the other day, and Drew was like, "Oh, I'm going to use this cool background." I'm like, "That sounds really cool," like the way he described it. But then the actual mechanics of it was like, take 3 free proficiencies and then this and that. And I'm like, that's too much. That's too much. What is happening? So like,
yeah.
It very much is like balancing is very hard. And so when you're creating new stuff, I still think the best way to do it is to find something similar, see that something in the game that works really well, and augment it. And if what you're trying to make just doesn't exist, that's fine. Make something in whole cloth. But there's so much stuff from like 3.5 that you can almost always find something close enough that already works, that's been tested, and then just skew some things with it. So yeah, Pinata Boy, exactly, Atomic. I think that would be really fun. I might make that into a thing. Because yeah, it would be fun to do that where like gold just generates, but then your party would just beat you up, right? And that could be fun too. But but you know, how do you balance that? That's kind of the problem. How do you balance that out? So how good exactly is a +1 weapon? If the game breaking, or is it just, hey, well, that's nice. So essentially with 5e, I think, is it +3 or +4 the maximum?
I'm not sure.
I think it's +3, and then added effects on top of that. Because 5e shifted everything, so that the stats are kind of crunched.
Yeah.
The way it used to work out, and in old school and Pathfinder, was you got a +1 item at level 3, 2 at 5, and like that's kind of where it was balanced out, because then you would get a +5 weapon with +5 enchantments on it.
Right.
And so with D&D, I think by level 5 you're supposed to have a +1 weapon. Like +1 weapon and a magical item is kind of the way I would balance it out. So I think you go 5, 10, and 15. And then 20 you should get a legendary item, essentially. So no, it's not broken. It's just you need to give it to them at the right place. If you give a level 1 character a +1 weapon, they're going to be very powerful.
Yeah, for a little while.
For a little while. And sometimes that's good. Like sometimes that can be a lot of fun. Especially if you're a level 1 player in the party and you have one +1 item for the whole party. It's just like, oh shit, they got that magical dagger. Like that's a good story hook. That's a good way to get like things kicked off. It's like, I'm in charge. I have the fire sword. It's like, oh. You know, and then people can fight over it and whatever.
I can totally see that, a party of goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Aha! I have +1 dagger.
I have the Thunderstone.
No, you're stupid. Give me
And just
dagger.
fight. Love it. I've done that a few times. That's what I do. All my enemies, I just nick some stats and slap them onto some kind of enemy I want. Yep, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, honestly, I've felt for quite a long time that with 5e specifically, equipment, weapons, and armor has been kind of an afterthought for them.
Yeah, the game runs on the mechanics of 5e, and they lowered the stat reliance a lot, which is why it's so much easier for people to get into it, because they don't have to worry about number crunching, unlike 3.5 and in Pathfinder. 4th edition was a lot of the same, but still had the numbers, and so it just made the game way more complicated and slower. Because they're like, here's 1 billion abilities. I hope you have the math for all of these different things. And it's like, oh god.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy that playstyle every once in a while. It's just not all the time.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and I'll be honest, like, we were taking a long time for combat, and it's just like, man, I kind of just want to dick around a little more. So it's definitely, which is why we played a 5e game last week. It was like, let's just play a 5e game for a week or two and see what happens, just to get like refreshed. Which is great. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, playing one game all the time nonstop can be detrimental.
Yeah, it's not good.
And I know people that like have played the same game for 20 years. And it's like, oh my god, how do you do that? I'm like, well, we don't play it every week. Like, sometimes we just hang out and have beers. Sometimes we play board games.
Right.
It's like, yep, that's the way to do it.
Or they only play for 40, 60 minutes, and then they do others.
Yeah. Everyone's different.
Yep.
This is very much like a suggestion to play Kobolds Ate My Baby. Yeah. Yeah. I just saw that. I have no idea what that game is about. Well, I mean, it sounds pretty self-descriptive, but I just saw that it exists. One-shots are great.
Enjoyed having my players play the quote-unquote good guys, and then a few months later do the okay, well, we're gonna try this other game for a little while, which is they play the opposite faction.
Yeah.
And they are essentially fighting their own ghost. They don't really realize it, but
that's fun.
Essentially what it is.
I think that's a really good way to, like, especially for content generation for a DM, like,
And
I'm trying to make sure I say this the same way, because I don't want to discourage people. Lars is building his own campaign world, and he's like just dove into it. Like, he's going all the way. So I was like, cool, okay, you do that. But like at the same time, Kevin's been able to, within like a day's notice, just be like, hey, I'm gonna use the world that we were just playing in, but I'm gonna write my own thing for it, and it's done. Right? All of the lore and like world building you do during a campaign can continue on after the campaign, and can be used by different people, and it's great. Like that's the beauty of building a setting, right? And it's not just one thing. So I think that's really fun, because then you can have like your old characters can affect the world, even though you're done with that campaign. You can still see their legacy, and like, oh yeah, there was this huge fight here 200 years ago, and a building exploded, and you're like, that was us. We did that. That was funny. I remember that. So like that kind of stuff is great.
Oh, that was Frank. He threw that torch in the big pile of exploded things.
Yeah. Let's see. Ellen Harris says, Kobolds Ate My Baby. I haven't heard of this before. Where can I buy it? Atomic says it's goofy as heck, and my wife loves to run it. All hail King Torg. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I saw it online last night. I'm not sure where you'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure if you type in Kobolds Ate My Baby, yeah, it'll probably pop up. Oliver, so this is kind of the thing I'm talking about. Like, you're trying to make a sword that has magical effects, but is just worse than a flaming sword. Like, a flaming +1 sword already exists, and you're trying to like give it utility items like a flint and steel, which already exists. So like, if all it does is you can use it as a flint and steel, yes, do that. But both of those things already exist. I don't know why it's a sword. That's like it's small weapon. You made a small weapon. My knife has a fire stick in it. Sorry, Oliver. I definitely owned one of those knives when I was in high school. Like a knife with a lighter on it. Like, it's still a knife. It's actually, but it's worse. It's worse than a regular knife would be. So, and worse than a regular lighter. Can I do extra backstab damage and have it work reasonably? Yeah, I do that all the time. I generally put it on like a ring, something that someone has to. So what you're talking about now, there are rules and mechanics in 3.5 for making these things. So basically, if you want to add a d6 of damage to something, it counts as one level of an enchantment. So they have to have a magical weapon already, and then put it on there. The rules for this exist. They exist. They're out there. I would look up 3.5 magic item crafting rules, or costs, magic item costs, crafting costs, and that will tell you, like, that's everything. It has everything in there to build whatever you want. Generally what I do, because the thing about backstab damage is it does count as a +1 enchantment. So if you have a level 1 rogue with backstab and a sword, and you give them a +1 weapon, and that, like, it stacks really fast. So 5e kind of gets around that by having the attunement slots. You can only have 3 things attuned anywhere. But additional sneak attack damage is something I've done in the past. Additional like breath weapons. So if you have a breath weapon that you can use, additional uses of that per day. That's a fun thing to give somebody because it's just like, yeah, that's the thing I like using, and I'm going to use it more. But it's really powerful. So you just have to be really careful about how you divvy it out. But yeah. Another way to look at it is when would they get that normally? So when would a rogue get additional sneak attack dice? Because you're essentially giving them an item that's giving them a level 5 ability. Do you want to give that to someone at level 2? Maybe you do. Maybe you do, because that will make them more powerful and you can have a higher fantasy game. But that's how you look at it. When would I normally get this? What is the opportunity and power cost of this? When should I give this to them? I've also created items that I thought would be really cool, and when I give them to players, they're just like, that's stupid, I don't want it. And it's like, okay, sell it. Yeah, it's just like, because different people have different like things that they like. So that's, once again, play with your characters, see what they like about their characters, and then find things like that, like extra backstab damage or better performances and magic things. Whatever your characters are into, find magical items that will make that better, make them really good at things they like to do. I'm done with this Hydra. I've been talking a lot. I'm going to roll the dice some more.
Like having a character that really likes fireworks.
Man, I had a party use a Ring of Obscuring Mist. That was like their most used item. Like, of all the magical shit they got, the Ring of Obscuring Mist, which just makes a fog. Like,
right? Every
time they went into town, it was just like, smoke bomb, smoke bomb. It's just like, people know it's you. They know that you're the one doing it. And they're like, I don't care. So, it's just, you never know. You never know what people are going to latch on to. A Western dragon, a dragonborn samurai. Okay, that's easy enough to do. Is what I rolled. It's a 5. Jar of infinite lard. Its contents cannot be sold. I mean, why not? Why can't the jar be sold? That's the balancing thing you got to think about. Like, just because you say you can't.
Not that expensive.
Yeah. I made a jar of infinite mayonnaise once. That was fun.
Sounds like a stomach ache waiting to happen.
Or no, I'm sorry. It was a bucket of the ultimate bucket of ranch. That's what it was.
Oh no!
Because I was running. I made a campaign out of the Ultimate Sandwich song from Ninja Sex Party. And so yeah, I gave my players a bucket of infinite ranch, and I think they killed a kobold in it. Like they, I'm pretty sure they drowned a kobold in it. But that was fun. I also gave them something that I think whenever you ate, what was it? It was like anything you dipped the ranch in, you could eat. And I think somebody ate a like a whole suit of armor. It was pretty funny.
Crunchy.
Druid, welcome in, by the way.
Hey, thanks.
I got distracted. I rolled a 5. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was trying to find the poll here. Well, it can be sold, but people wouldn't want it. I mean, they might. What if somebody needs lard?
Like, yeah. Gotta be careful.
There are lots of uses for lard that are not food-based, so if it's, like, rancid, then, I don't know.
Then what's the point of it?
Candles, make torches.
So yeah, you're falling into the trope of, it would be really funny if I give you something that is X, but it's bad. And Lars loves doing that. My friend Lars loves doing that. He's like, I want to be a healer, but I want to be the worst healer. It's like, then just don't be a healer. He's like, no, I'm going to be the healer. It's like, okay. Like, I don't understand this play style. I'm not into it.
I would argue that if he's going to be the healer, then maybe he's going to be a healer, but maybe he won't be the healer.
That's an argument. That's an argument that could be made.
Yeah, depending on how the party decides to react to his healing style.
Sounds like another jester.
Kind of. Although she wasn't specifically built not to heal well, she was just built because Laura wanted to do combat better.
Yeah. She just wanted to be a warlock.
Yeah. And her husband stole that from her, so...
Where's healers, massive damage dealers? I mean, damage is a type of healing.
Yes, yes,
Or
it
healing
is.
is a type of damage?
Nope. Damage mitigation through murder.
Fair. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
Damage is a
I
type
mean,
of healing. If
if
the fight
you're
ends
asking-
faster,
Yeah.
less healing is. That's a Final Fantasy. It's
Yeah.
a Final Fantasy 14 mentality. There's two ways to heal. You either spam heals on somebody, or you throw enough damage out that you don't have to heal before the fight ends. And so it's a really weird flux you have to play with, because you're like, okay, is the tank tough enough that I can just heal him during fights, and then I can make the fights go faster by just blasting damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy ew.
Damage mitigation through healing. Or sorry, damage mitigation through damage. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it has generally been the thing that I have found in D&D and Pathfinder, and actually most TTRPGs that I've played, that that's kind of the way it's designed by default.
Yeah. I mean, so that there's a way to look at that through balancing aspects, and they do this. This is Monster Hunter's thought process too. It's like, we don't need a healer if everybody can just do enough damage. The problem with that is if someone can't do enough damage, you need a healer, and then that requires somebody who's not great at healing to start healing, thus lowering the damage, and it's just a cascade of awful. Which is why I always think it's better to either have a healer or design your encounters around not having a healer, which can be a lot of fun. You can absolutely have a game with no healers.
It's also why everybody needs to be on the same page with, how we're building characters. Because if some people decide they don't want to min-max, and some people are going to power game the shit out of everything they do, then somebody's going to be real fucked over
Yeah, it's
by
not
that
fun.
game.
That is the problem with min-maxing. Min-maxing can be fun, but it's a thing that you have to balance very, very carefully. I don't remember what I was supposed to draw. What was I supposed to draw? Western Dragon board. Okay, I started drawing an elf. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah. In terms of good items that provide an infinite amount of stuff, they can be real fun. And real good kit for your players to have and not necessarily break things. Remember, Rook, the jar that produced a certain amount of lamp oil every day?
Mm-hmm.
It was basically an alchemical jug, but specific to lamp oil. That was not particularly game breaking, even at low levels.
Yep. Yeah, that's. I think it's fine. You could definitely have a jar that makes mayonnaise.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But the thing, like, why are you making it so no one can sell it? It's like that's just let people sell it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with that? I have a magical item, and now I'm a lamp seller. It's like, great. If you want to take your time instead of adventuring to sell 3 bottles of lamp oil a day, here's your 5 silver.
Right.
Yeah. Convenience versus like eschewed materials. Eschewed materials is probably one of the most powerful feats in Pathfinder. So much so that they just give it to every wizard. It's just like because it just takes the mundanity out of the game of like, I need to go buy 1 copper's worth of bat feathers, and it's just like, okay, great.
And they have to give it to every wizard because every sorcerer automatically has it because their blood is the magic thing.
Yeah. And maybe it is sorcerers. You're right. It might be sorcerers. That would make sense. So
there are so few magical, like, non-meta magical feats to take anyway that basically every sorcerer takes it anyway.
Yeah. It's really good.
Same with Magus, I think.
I mean, I've almost always taken it on my clerics too.
And I've almost always taken it on my druids.
Super powerful. Super good. Why is creativity so hard? Creativity is not hard per se. You're being very creative with your ideas. Balancing in game design is hard because it's a thing you have to do. Like it's a job. Thinking about game balancing, mechanics, which is why I say use the books. So many people want to start D&D but refuse to just read the books, and it drives me up the wall.
Oh, I came up with a super imaginative, completely original idea. Yeah, they did that.
It's been done.
The what?
This game's been around for 50 years almost. Is that right?
More than
that now. If you count Greyhawk.
Because I think it was originally invented in the 60s, right?
I think Dungeons and Dragons as a thing, Dungeons and Dragons, I think was 76, 78. Is that right? But yeah, Greyhawk was older than that. And then there was stuff before Greyhawk. So, but I think, I want to say that was about there.
Oh, let's
Google it. Anyways, it's been around forever. That's the thing with being creative. You can flavor things amazingly well, but it's okay. It's okay to
original D&D.
hit me with Dungeons and Dragons first edition.
74.
74. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we're almost 50 years. It's pretty great.
Yeah. The special truth of creativity is that it's not actually very hard. Most people do it automatically. It's that most people also don't realize that there's no such thing as creativity in a vacuum.
Yeah, Oliver, what you're talking about is called the vicious enchantment.
Yeah,
that's what you did. You just made a pair of brass knuckles with a vicious enchantment.
One of my favorite Pathfinder enchantments.
Yeah, vicious is great.
It's especially good because none of my players ever want it, and so it's really fun to give them troll loot with a vicious enchantment on it.
I killed Lars with one. I gave him a sword that would do any dice of damage to both the wielder and the attacker. And
so you choose the dice you roll?
Yeah, so he rolled a D100 and he killed himself, and the thing he attacked didn't die. And I was just like, the brakes.
Well, that was a choice you made. These are the consequences.
Where do I find these enchantments? Go ahead and go to Google. Item creation. 3.5 Pathfinder item creation rules. It's in the books. It's in the DM guide. I suggest you buy that, look it up. I'm sure you can find it somewhere online.
I'm sure there's tons of tools that will allow you to input stuff as well.
Yeah, you can do an enchantment calculator.
Yeah.
You can make anything you want. The problem is the consequences of making anything, because anything can get pear-shaped with a creative and chaotic character. Yeah, this is the thing. You keep asking me, could you make? Yes. The answer is always yes, you could. But you just need to figure out what you're doing.
The question, should you make, is a little bit harder and depends on your GM and your table.
Right.
If you want to look at Pathfinder magic items, which is a thing that I highly recommend, you can just Google Pathfinder SRD, and you can do magic weapons, or magic armor, or wondrous items. I love the list of wondrous items. Highly recommend.
Which there's a huge list of those in the Ultimate Treasure, I think. Ultimate Equipment. Might be Ultimate Equipment. But there's also a huge list of them in the Game Master's Guide. Which, once again, everybody, if you want to be a DM, go get a copy of the Game Master's Guide for Pathfinder First Edition. There's PDFs of it for cheap. You can get a copy of it on eBay, on Amazon. I think I have a link for it somewhere. It's one of the most, I think, one of the best things to read if you want to become a DM.
I would tend to agree. Do be aware that Pathfinder, even first edition, there's a lot more to it than 5e.
I hate this.
So
I'm going to start over.
It's an especially good thing to look at if you feel like you've got a grasp of 5e and want something a little bit more.
If you don't have a grasp of 5e yet, just do the 5e book. Stop making stuff. Just get the 5e book. It's not in the core rule book. Run at least 2 sessions, and then go from there.
And maybe don't touch second edition Pathfinder until you've figured out first.
Second edition, I think, could be a good pickup on its own. I might disagree with you on that. I think a lot of what we get hung up on is knowing too much about first edition.
That is probably true.
Yeah, lots of carryovers.
There's actually not as much carryover as I expect there to be, and there is a fair amount of similar terminology, and so it actually gets really confusing for us because we're like, oh, this is going to be the same thing as it was in first edition, and then like we get kind of fucked with the mechanics because it doesn't actually work the way it did in first edition, so we have to go look it up, and then we're like, oh, shouldn't have assumed.
Right. And then that round of combat lasted 45 minutes.
Yes.
Alexander, hello. Too many addition of the rules for your brain. Thank you for drinking the drink. Yeah, I mean, part of the reason I made the whole Why You Should Play series is because I do have too many additions of things in my brain. And it's not bad, because like I feel like I can very, very readily come up with things to play with. Or if people like, I have this cool idea, it's like, yeah, let's do this. Let's take that. Let's give you that from this. It makes more sense to do it this way. And like that's a good way to create, right? Like I said, you're taking stuff from things that work mechanically in games, and you're finding ways to make them balance out. And unfortunately, this like sometimes you just hit locations of like, I want to do this. I want to be Omni-Man in D&D, and it's like, he's level 20. Like that's just it. So, like if you want to be Goku, you're gonna start as 5-year-old Goku not knowing shit. It's like, no, I want all the cool stuff. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to be level 20 for that. Like,
gotta build up to that.
You gotta build up to that.
And
that's I think people's biggest struggle with creating things like that is they're not patient enough to have the whole story of the character. They just want the sweet anime moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want an NPC to look at them and say, his power is over 9,000.
Yeah. I'm just here for the memes. I've had way too many people do that.
I mean, there are game systems that allow for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's very much Powered by the Apocalypse, or what's the other one? The vampire one.
Oh no.
Oh, Masquerade. Yeah.
It's not even Masquerade. I can't. Brian would know what I'm talking about. It's one of the things where like the DM is kind of not really a DM. It's more of the DM is more of the players basically build the world around them. So they're like, yes, I can shoot fireballs out of my eyes, and the DM's like, yeah, that's fine. Like let's let it happen. And the players just agree to make the world around them. So you can very much do that kind of like anime style creation in that way. Because you're like, yeah, I ate a gum fruit.
Sure.
Now I have stretchy arms. And everyone else is like, yeah, okay, gum fruit exists in this universe now. Great. Right? Like that's a thing you can do. Exalted is a really good example of anime-based stuff. It might have been Exalted. I felt that it was like magic or something. What the hell was it called?
But the GM is a moderator.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's no real rules. It's not there's no rule set for it. They're a moderator.
Yeah, if you want to go really old, it'd be something like Bezel.
You cut out there. What was the word you said?
Bezel. Big eye, small mouth. So, super old system.
Interesting. Yeah, Oliver, I mean, it sounds like you just want to write, which is great, and I would suggest doing that. Like, write your world, write your campaign, but, like, don't worry about mechanics until you understand how the game works. And what I mean by that is read the D&D rule books, like, start to finish. Try to understand what you're doing there. If you need to play a few level 0 or level 1 campaign things, it's just like, hey, let's just try this. You guys be these characters I made for you, just so we can kind of get a feel for the game. That's great too. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to be making, custom magical items for a game system that you don't fully understand. I'm going to say something that might be kind of stupid. Aren't all Dragonborns Western dragons?
Unless...
Did they maybe mean Eastern dragons?
I think I usually...
Sorry, Jordan, say it again.
Unless otherwise specified, that's usually how I interpret it.
Lucky Neko, hello, welcome in. Pre-gens make a lot of sense for learning games. Yeah, and that's why I love the 5e starter kit. Like, I've introduced dozens of people to 5e with that. It's great. Like, it's just as good and it works. It's like, here, you be a dwarf, you be the elven fighter. This will be fun. And then it's a goblin. It's a goblin mash. That's all it is. It's great for letting people learn how to DM because it's a very short introduction. I think you can get them for like $20. My neighbors keep parking in front of my house, and they have space in front of their house and a driveway, so I don't understand why they're not just parking in their own house. I don't know if I should yell at them.
Do you like your neighbors?
I mean, I don't dislike them, except that they park their shit in front of my house.
Yeah, I would just talk to them then.
S in chat for people in Twitch. Bring forth the brigantine armor. Sorry, what was that?
I actually saw a YouTube Minecraft YouTuber the other day actively trying to get people to go from YouTube to their Twitch, and I was like, oh honey.
Doesn't exactly work that way.
Yeah, and more than that, Twitch might not be solvent for the foreseeable future.
I was watching Pirate Software. watching Twitch get roasted by Jacksepticeye on Twitter. It was bad. By Melody Forest. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna resort to vandalism just yet. Maybe in the future, but not now. I forgot what samurai armor looked like. I feel like I've made a kobold in plate mail.
Yeah, you kind of have. It does look more Roman than Japanese. I do think you've got the overlapping plates pretty good, but you've forgotten the fact that they're usually covered with silk ties on the outside.
On the outside?
Yeah.
What?
Because samurais only use katanas as swords, and silk resists cutting.
I should just look up a reference at this point. Darth Vader, samurai armor, funny. The Doge Cat. Doge Cat. Oh, my cat. My brain. My brain. What am I going to do for dinner tonight? I had an idea. I forgot what it was now. What a spaghetti squash.
Rib.
Got a spaghetti squash. I got a pumpkin. Those need to get eaten.
Oh, sounds like sweet potato pie.
Do you make sweet potato pie with spaghetti squash?
You can,
You
yeah.
can make pumpkin pie with spaghetti
Oh,
squash.
okay.
Which is
Pumpkin pie is
basically the
just
same thing.
Yeah, pumpkin pie is just a specific flavor profile, right? It's more cinnamon versus star anise and cardamom.
I like a zoomed out Dragonborn much more. It's like it looks bad now that I've zoomed in. Is that what you're saying? I'm confused. Chat's over here just shitting on my Dragonborn.
How rude.
Turns out you suck.
Try being better next time.
Get good, noob.
It's a back flag. I could do a back flag. I do love me a good banner. Like, banners are great. Better looking than the first attempt. Oh, I forgot that I even deleted the old one. I forgot that there was this thing.
We don't talk about the first attempt.
Was the lady's power from Encanto that she could yell at grandma? Was that... Did that turn out being what her power was?
No, her power was that when grandma's controlling nature killed her magic, she became the new magic that saved the rest of the family's powers.
Ah, she became grandma.
Basically,
Gotcha.
I think.
How can become grandma?
It'll happen to you.
By the power of aging, I have become grandma.
I watched a YouTube clip. No, it might have been Twitch. Doesn't matter. I watched a little clip of someone yelling at Marjorie Taylor Greene about drag shows, and they're like, the thing that made me come out was not anybody. It was this guy, and then he just did like a scathing review of how homoerotic He-Man is. From, like, start to finish.
Unabashedly.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good. It's like, yeah, He-Man is he's an icon.
Yeah.
Lots of the Hanna-Barbera era cartoons were much that way.
I think it ended with them showing off Fisto, the character Fisto.
Oh. Yeah.
Hard to beat. Now I am the master, yeah. I think. Oh, that's my friend. Yeah.
The thing that I found the funniest. Well, the thing that I now find the funniest, looking back, growing up Mormon, is there is a surprising amount of homoerotic Mormon art.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Not even like vaguely, like
Nope.
unabashedly.
nope. It is. It is full front, large and in charge. Oh.
Why is Jesus ripped?
Why does he always have this wind coming at him from the front with his hair swept? Really weird. Unsettling.
Alright, yeah, I think I'm done with this.
Why does this biblical prophet have a 12-pack and biceps bigger than his head? He's 90.
Yeah,
Noah's
always be
jacked.
careful. Always be careful about the old one.
Okay, I'm done with this. I'll move on. Let's not all forget the villains of Blunt Man? I don't remember this.
Mm.
I really wish... There it is. Mark Hamill's Cockknocker? I don't remember that either.
I vaguely remember that.
I don't. Sounds hilarious, though.
Now I gotta look it up.
Okay. I'm gonna roll some dice. It is 1 o'clock. I should probably go fill up my water glass. Male Goliath, Genie, Warlock of the Tao. Leather armor, wielding a Tao Warhammer. I don't know what that means. Let me look it up.
Google.
Earth, Genie, Tao, Warhammer. One? Is it an elemental? There's a whole lot of Warhammer stuff here.
Yep. I'm just getting Dawn of War.
I can't even find
Yeah.
a Tao Warhammer. Oh, that's why. That's why I have Warhammer here. I don't know if that exists. Seen a lot of Wushu glaives, a Dao sword, Chinese saber, more glaives. I guess they're pole arms, but Chinese Dandao, Guandao. Maybe it's a hammer. Now I'm just seeing a bunch of guns. Is that what we're going for? Forgotten Realm wiki. Alright. Tao are the Earth Djinn in Pathfinder. Okay, got it.
Is that right? Hmm. Jenny, Jin.
Variations of the genie from the elemental plane of Earth. Go all the way back to first edition. There you go.
Cool. So are they like a half genie race?
Yeah. Seems like it.
Okay. Cool.
Well, it's a genie warlock. So it's a Goliath. But the Dao are the actual genies.
Oh, okay.
What color are we doing? Red? Got some red in here. I'm going to take a quick break. Get my water filled back up. Hang tight, everybody.
Do a flip!
Mr. Sai wants to flip the canvas. Skip Cat pets. Uh-oh. Skip Cat just got his food, so I'll have to give him Skip Cat pets when he comes back. Can I flip the canvas? I don't think I can. I need to disable that, so I'm going to give you the points back, Mr. Sai. There's a way for me to do this.
For you, it's H in
Yeah, but my stream is not the same.
Right.
What I see and what the stream sees are two different things, and I can't flip the stream without doing some shenanigans. So we're not gonna do that. Let me. There's a way to refund points. I hate Twitch. I'm just gonna say it. Twitch, get your shit together. It's seriously not even letting me like see the stream right now. Like where? Why? What is happening? I can report you, but I can't refund it. So that's great. I think I'm gonna have to go to my own channel, turn myself into a moderator, and then refund it.
Wow. What's the thing everybody makes fun of Todd Howard for? It just works.
Who's Todd Howard? That sounds familiar.
Steam.
Ah.
Bethesda. I mean, Glitch Thesda.
Now it doesn't exist. So I don't know what happened. Welcome back, Mr. Sai, by the way. Yeah, cool. All right, whatever. We're drawing a Goliath. Let's draw a Goliath. I've been fiddling with this for too long. Talk about bad timing on the alerts. Yeah, it happens. Sorry, my suggestion is weird. I just wanted a magical hammer wielding beefy boy. Okay, no problem. If it's yours, you can tell us. I was just trying to figure out what a Dao was. Earth elemental genie spirit thing.
So your name is the Butcher. Yes. And what are you wielding? The Tenderizer.
Was there more to that, or was that a joke?
No, that was a joke.
Okay.
Because it was a big two-handed maul.
I think I've gotten the tenderizer. I thought you had a big axe. Do you have a big maul?
It wouldn't surprise me. Reminds me of the Waffler.
The waffle iron of justice.
Right.
Burn people, like so. Oh, Dane Cook.
I was born with a gift. I could shovel. I could shovel good.
Close enough.
I don't think the tick characters will ever get old in my mind.
I mean, they're good caricatures of tropes, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, American Made.
Batman Well is great.
Yeah.
Batman Well is amazing.
Chairface Chippendale.
I never quite understood Deflator Mouse.
He was Batman.
But then what was Batman Well?
I think it was the French something. What was it?
That's right. They were mad at each other, weren't they?
I think so.
Okay. So yes, it was German Batman and Spanish Batman.
No.
That's the were two.
That makes a lot more sense than what I was originally. Oh, that's right, because Golden Batman was a thing. Oh my gosh, and he was a Spanish Batman. Oh.
Deflator Mouse is the... Yep. Arthur remarked that all he did was look at fashion magazines and hang out in a diner.
Luna Moth is more difficult than I expected.
It's a lot of color.
It is a lot of color, and a lot of nuance with not a lot of variation in color. Also relatively reflective scales, so also not a lot of strong shadow shapes.
You can always add them in.
I'd like to preserve the nuance if possible.
This is a warlock. But he's an earth elemental warlock. And a Goliath. So I think he's going to show off his shoulders.
Shoulders?
The hammer can be as fancy as you want, considering the body's patron is a noble genie. But you're the artist, so do what you like. I'll donate a good bit on the next stream for this. Yeah, no problem. His patron is a noble genie. Are you a 1950s sitcom? We're about to leave the cleaver.
The Tick.
The Tick is great.
I unfortunately never managed to watch a ton of it because
You had cable, right?
Weird. Not for like the first 15 years of my childhood.
Okay. That would have fit into the Tick time zone then. It was on like late on Saturday mornings.
Oh, hello, Steve. Oh, bitches. They're good?
I like the Mothman. Would both
Thank
awe and freak me out if I saw him floating by at night.
No, hide all your silk clothes.
Do moths really eat? Do they just eat wool, or what do they eat? I don't understand it. Why do they eat clothes?
It depends. It depends on the type of moth larvae. It is generally only the caterpillars
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
that eat stuff, but some are detritivores, and so they'll eat fur.
Oh, that
rotting
makes sense.
corpses.
Okay.
Some are just looking to munch on cellulose.
Hmm.
So they'll go after like dead leaves and dead grass in the wild, which translates to cotton or linen fibers.
Okay, that makes sense. This is not how arms work.
Do arms work?
I hope so.
I don't know. I've drawn enough arms that I'm skeptical.
I think they work vaguely better than fingers at the point.
I've never drawn a finger that worked.
Exactly.
You're doing it wrong.
I am 100% in agreement with that idea. Definitely doing it wrong.
Yeah, I'm usually doing it wrong.
This playlist isn't so bad. Once you get all the weird flute music out of there. Drew spent too much time near West Virginia. It made it look good, not right. What? I don't get that topic.
I've never been anywhere near West Virginia.
Mm-mm.
I'm not trying to draw the occult Mothman. I'm trying to draw.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm.
This is just a regular old Mothman.
Yeah, this is one you could play in D&D.
This is the discount American Mothman.
This is the one for furries.
Careful now.
Wouldn't that be fluffies? I don't know. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't know enough about furry culture.
Same. I know that scalies exist, but only because I've made too many kobold videos on the internet. And they have found me.
That's good news for your channel.
I mean, engagement, right?
Sure. There was another one. There was another one I learned the other day. I can't remember what it was now. Is it lunars? Is that what it is? God, there's a lot of weird stuff on the internet, man.
Yeah.
Don't look that up. I blame John Oliver.
That's fair.
Yep.
You're making mead, cinnamon and clove mead. Yeah, it's a good one. You can do that. I made mead last year. Maybe it was the year before. I think I made cider last year.
I
Both
remember
are
having
good options.
Yeah, I remember having a discussion about cider.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't remember mead.
Mulled wine is also really good.
I have an issue with mulled wine. Not like that it's bad or anything. It's good. Tastes great. Whatever. But like, I don't understand that. I guess you buy wine and then you just mull it, right? like
Correct.
that's the
you infuse spice into
yeah.
it, yeah.
It's like mulled wine is technically closer to a cocktail than a thing you make, but I guess you make it in bulk. So I guess that's the
conceptually, yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar.
that's the problem I have with it. It's just like, are you cooking it? Because you're just pouring stuff together, but you are heating it.
Yeah.
But you're not making the wine.
No. Although, now that I think about it, you could probably make it at the same time as you're actually the wine itself.
Wouldn't that just be, that would just be fruity wine though, wouldn't it? Like, I don't
Well,
know.
it'd be spiced,
Spiced
wine,
wine? Okay.
when you actually make it, right?
Sure.
But
I can get behind
I mean,
that. Okay, that might be the thing that my brain is trying to get to. Like, you could make spiced wine, but if you don't have spiced wine, you can make mulled wine, which is essentially
Yeah.
the same.
which is a warm variety of
Yeah,
it,
I guess
right?
you would consume it warm, so that's fair.
Yeah, I thought that it was just fell under the umbrella of whatever wassail and
We're getting drunk!
yeah, and like eggnog.
Man, I love eggnog. I like Tom and Jerry batter. Oh my god. I need to make Tom and Jerry batter this year. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know what that is.
I do not.
It's a it's close to like a hot toddy.
Okay.
When I was young, you would buy it from like Albertsons. You would buy the batter. It's like egg whites and sugar, and you basically beat it into a really thick paste, like almost like divinity, but you don't let it harden. And then so you pour that into hot water and you add liquor, and that's Tom and Jerry. It gets really foamy and frothy, and you put nutmeg on top. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but like, I loved that as a kid because it like I didn't get the liquor part of it. I would just get the regular drink, but yeah. It was something my parents would get from the Albertsons
So it's a
down the
much
street.
more decadent version of eggnog.
Kind of, yeah.
Depends on the kind of eggnog. Like if you're
Well,
making it
that's-
from scratch, then meringue folded into it is kind of part of the recipe, isn't it?
Yeah, so like whereas eggnog is a whole shebang.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole.
This is very much like you have to add hot water to it because like you need it to cook the eggs because the alcohol's not gonna, like, you have to put boiling water in it, and then it is more of a liquidy thing than like a thick syrup at that point. So once you add the stuff into it, so you make a cup of hot water, you put like a spoonful of this in there and mix it up, and it gets really frothy and foamy. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people I know hate it, so maybe it's a local thing.
Sounds like it would be a very distinctive texture.
Yeah, it is. A Midwestern holiday drink. How to make Tom and Jerry batter. Grew up in North Dakota. Well, okay. Egg, salt, butter, confectioner sugar, vanilla, ground nutmeg, ground cloves, allspice. That's it. Yeah.
So basically sugar and spice.
Mm-hmm. I'm making some this year. I've decided. The Tom and Jerry cocktail is generally credited to British journalist Pierce Egan in 1820. This is an old one. Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, or me.
Okay, but it's another cocktail.
Definitely seems very wassailing related.
Does Jump Rope also enjoy it?
I don't remember. I think so.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Or you'll find out.
I always thought it was named after the cat and mouse. But apparently the cat and mouse were named after this drink.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's an interesting juxtaposition.
One example of the batter mix is produced by the Flashery Happy Time Company. St. Paul, Minnesota. How does one mull things? You get it real hot and you put spices in it.
Mm-hmm. And you leave the sachets in there until you like it the way it is.
Making like take wine and make tea out of it is essentially what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except you don't really want to boil the wine because you don't want to get rid of all the alcohol. You just want to
Oh man, I always
get
have.
it hot, just hot enough.
I've got that stuff steaming, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can also do it with unfiltered apple cider.
Yeah,
if you don't
I've done that
like
too.
wine.
Yeah.
Spice cider.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I usually do. For two reasons. One, I can't have alcohol because my body is borked, and two, I've got a really, really good orchard nearby.
Some of my cousins called me last year and they're like, "We're going apple, apple pressing." I was like, "What?"
Oh.
And I thought we would just go pick apples because we used to do that. Like there used to be a big orchard near where like you go to Fruitland and just pick apples for a day. But they're like, no. We go to this orchard and they just press it for you. You pick the apples and they press it for you. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I didn't get to go with them, but I might have to do that next year. Yeah, Tom and Jerry mattered. Really cool. Because like the eggs kind of puff up and then they don't really get hard, but they become very, very foamy.
I feel like I don't know enough about cocktails to actually know this, but I feel like I watched a Good Eats back in the day that kind of talked about a style of drink that incorporated egg white foam. That the Tom and Jerry batter probably falls under the blanket category of.
Yeah. Yeah, eggnog is kind of the same way. Like you whip it, you whip it, but then you let it kind of ferment, and then it just is its own drink. But
maybe this is heresy, but I've never like enjoyed eggnog that much.
I've only enjoyed one type of eggnog.
I used to go to the store around Christmas and just get a carton of eggnog, and I would just drink it. I would just drink it for that day. Drink it like a jug of milk.
Yeah, I know people that could do that.
It's thick.
My brother could do that. My brother still does that.
It's just
I would
so
do
much
it, but my
sugar
body
and
will kill
egg.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. The way that I had it that actually almost landed in the hospital was when I used that and I mixed it with cold brew coffee.
Okay.
I drank far too much cold brew far too fast because it basically turned it into like a chocolatey drink.
Sure. You OD'd yourself on caffeine and liquor.
I was extremely close. Yeah.
Oh man, I used to have friends that were just addicted to Four Locos. I don't know if you guys know what those were. I don't know if those are
Yeah.
legal again or not. They were illegal for a while.
No, as far as I know.
But there's
No.
essentially like a beer and an energy drink mixed together.
Yeah.
And my friends were just like, I don't know how they survived. That would kill me now. Like straight up, just break my body.
It was bad because I had a resting heart rate of 101, just jittery as all get out.
Ooh.
Oof.
So
Bad.
that it legit put you on the verge of a heart attack. That's
Oh
what you're
yeah.
saying.
Oh yeah.
I had really bad food last week. Like I just
Did not eat well.
I went out of town. Yeah, I didn't eat well for Thanksgiving. And I kind of just like, I'll be fine. I'm just going to do whatever this week and not care about it. And then, like, man, over the weekend, I just felt like shit. And my blood pressure was really high. And I was just like, I got to be careful. I can't just do whatever, I guess.
Yeah. Getting old hits you like a freight train.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got genetic or chronic conditions.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it would, yeah, get even worse.
I was watching John Oliver, and they were talking about, like, maybe it wasn't John Oliver. Who was it? Might have been a SciShow. I just watched the John Oliver thing, and they were talking about, like, liver transplants and stuff. And they were saying, oh, no, yeah, I was watching something about CRISPR, which is the genetic engineering. They're like, yeah, we found a way to make the people that have shitty liver enzymes and have high cholesterol, which is me, genetically. They're like, we found a way to do this, and it's just like it's like a year-long process and like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Bone marrow transplants.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we could fix it, and everyone, and their counter to it is like, well, there's a whole bunch of people in the U.S. that have it, myself included. That was the first time that I was like, oh, that's a thing I got. That's cool. They're like, pills are more effective and way cheaper. You just have to take pills every day, and so it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But genetic engineering, it's on its way. It's doing its thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Have you guys know
Nice
anything
thing
about
yeah.
displate posters?
Yeah. I'm only what I've seen in commercials. They're the metal
Oh,
posters you can print on.
gotcha.
Yeah, metal plates with
There used to be a
type of
store
printing.
in the Boise Mall that that's all they sold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know nothing about them. I made this a like crystalline hammer. I hope that's okay. We've entered some kind of fantasy nightclub or brothel, I think. What do you call those? Like where Jessica Rabbit was singing. 'Cause that's not a brothel. That's just a...
Speakeasy.
This is a
Yeah,
speakeasy?
it's a speakeasy.
Okay.
Mhm. Or dive bar.
Something with a cabaret or a
Mhm.
burlesque show. Those are two different things, I guess. You can have burlesque shows and cabarets.
I'm sure you can.
I think those are kind of the same thing.
I guess we don't really have any proper speakeasies anymore. Those existed specifically
Oh, I see what you're saying.
As a subversion of prohibition.
I was gonna. I mean,
Yeah.
you live in Salt Lake area though,
Yeah.
which I know for a fact those still exist there.
Yes.
I had some friends that worked at one. Got to know where to look, man.
Fair.
If there was a place that still had them, it'd be Salt Lake.
That's definitely true.
Oh.
Although Salt Lake
wow.
also has bars.
It's also true.
Well, that's because even though Salt Lake is run by Mormons, like that's not the only people that live there.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Okay.
I'm just my original point was that speakeasies began as a way to avoid cops
Prohibition, right?
during Prohibition.
Yeah.
And so with Prohibition effectively repealed and people no longer legally in danger of being arrested for drinking, a true speakeasy probably does not exist anymore.
Yeah, in name.
There were a couple in Boise that were like strip clubs. They were strip clubs, but not strip clubs. If you get my drift?
Yeah.
The cops
Oh,
shut them
sure,
down.
sure.
But like, I think the spirit of the speakeasy still exists, even though it's not alcohol based anymore.
Yeah. I think you're probably right.
Yeah, there's a member-only lounge near me that is like that.
Cabaret speakeasy is a style of bar. You used to have a membership to go to the bar. Okay, I think the Zion curtain got repealed. Just gonna walk away from that atomic. Just gonna... Mormon country would have secret clubs. The most upright some people are, the more some try to hide their naughty fun. Yeah. I saw such and such over at the such and place. Why were you at the such and place? My improprieties. Do. The place I grew up, there was a kids' table at the bar.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
Interesting.
What are you going to do with your kids when you want to go to the bar? Or what are you going to do with your kids when you work at the bar?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Damn government saying you can't bring your kids into a bar.
Careful now.
I remember some of my aunts having that conversation. Like they were upset about it. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah.
These are the same people that like fought tooth and nail to not have to wear seatbelts, and it's just like I don't understand. I don't understand your argument.
Like, okay. I mean,
Wisconsin bars be like, you guys save room for the kids. They just sit next to me. Yeah, like I'm sure it could get worse. I also grew up in the time of like the bar. The place I went to get my hair cut as a child, like I had a barber that cut my hair for 20 plus years, was attached to a bar. Like if I went too far back into the place getting my hair cut, I was in a bar. And so there, like, it was like people were smoking back there and what have you. And then you would come out and you would get your hair cut. And like, I assume like my dad knew the person that was cutting my hair because they went to college together. But like that was a really popular place to get your hair cut because it was you go in for lunch, have drinks with people, get your hair cut, go back to work. Like it was this super weird place that was really cool, but they were fine with it. And so it was less about them being worried that like people were sneaking into the bar and just being like, hey, get your kid out of here. Like, what are you doing? And then versus like the college towns where like they have bouncers and stuff. It's just like it was a much different thing. Because it wasn't just a restaurant. It was a public venue that was just like an open air bar.
So in that regard, it was probably more like a British pub than a bar.
Essentially it was essentially like a pub. But like I don't remember there might have been some tables in the back, but most people just came in, like had drinks at the bar, got their haircut and left. It was a really weird place.
Sounds convenient.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. What? Man, I don't miss smoking. Smoking in places.
Right. Having to go to a restaurant and specify non-smoking.
Yep. I used to have arguments with my friends when they were like, people were real mad about it. I was like, yeah, I get it. Like, you want to go places, you want to be able to smoke, but like, it eventually got a lot of them to stop smoking.
Well, and it completely changes the flavor of the food too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of the friends I've talked to, like 10 years after you stop smoking, it's like, man, I'm surprised I smoked for so long. Like, it's so different. It's like, oof, rough stuff.
Curse you, tobacco industry.
Yep.
Well, my dad had to quit smoking 3 separate times.
Yeah, and most people can't do it in one go.
Oh yeah. Each time that he fell back into it is because he was around people who smoked.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Talk about cuts and coolers, Bob's and Budweiser. Yeah, I've been here. It was a cool place. It was a cool place. I miss that kind of like
community venue.
Yeah. But there are like I said, like going from that, like growing up around that kind of thing. I mean, you can still go to like Applebee's, right? And there's a bar and a restaurant, but it's all like very contained. There's not a lot of chance of like a tiny kid just wandering into a bar, which is what happened to me a couple times. Because I was like, "What's over there? I want to go over there. I want to see what that is." They've got like a pinball machine. Like, it's not a pinball machine. Leave it alone. But like, yeah. But I moved going to like a college town like Moscow, where every bar is just a bunch of drunk college students. Like, it's such a different feel. And so I understand.
Bowling alley.
Yeah. Old bowling alleys. Yeah. I used to go to bowling alleys all the time when I was younger.
That is basically the only bar I've been like exposed to, which is probably why I have
the bowling alley bar.
The college town dive bar.
Oh. Okay.
Where people just get where people without enough
supervision
awareness get supervision or awareness get wasted to the point of absurdity and harass the people around them, which is one of the reasons why I don't like bars, can't stand the idea of clubbing, and have a wistful longing for things like speakeasies and pubs.
Yeah, I used to go when I was going to college at ITT Tech. Me and the other guys from there would go down to a pool hall every weekend. That was a lot of fun. And like, pool halls are a good little balance of that. Like, they have a bar in them, especially late at night, and you just go there and you play pool, and like you don't talk to anybody else except the people you come with. And then like college town bars, you go in and like there's music blaring and like it's awful. But I've also been to a couple like pubs in Boise where like I'd go play darts, or just go there and like just get pitchers of beer. Like, bars can be really fun. Bars can be fun if you have the right atmosphere and the right people to go with. But
yeah, I really miss the pizza bars.
Oh yeah, like the New York style pizza places.
Yeah,
there's a pretty good one. There's a pretty good one down in Boise, but it was next door to like. I mean, there was a whole strip of bars, and then there was just one Italian joint right in the middle, and so you could go there and just order pizza and appetizers, and then that place was attached to the bar. Like you could just go through a door and then you were in the bar, the bar
Yeah.
next door. And so you could like,
But
can we bring beer from over here? And they're like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. I was about to ask for bowling recommendations. Man, I haven't bowled in forever, and I was never good at it. I went to the bowling alley as an excuse to play the arcade games. Because my sister and my parents loved bowling, and I'm like, yeah, let's go bowling. And then I would just like throw my ball as fast as I could. I'm like, oh, game's over, bye. And I would leave. Okay,
Yeah, every time that I went out bowling, I always threw out my back.
I always twisted, like, I always pulled a muscle in my arm. I did not throw the ball right. But I also went there. For curly fries because the
Oh yeah.
bowling alley there had some really good curly fries. Probably not the healthiest thing, but
Oh, definitely not.
no. Especially when you're like rolling a ball
Yeah.
and then sticking your hand in fried grease and then more bowling ball. Like it's just not a good time. Hand sanitizer was not a thing then.
I mean, you cook it long enough, things on it will die, right?
Yeah, but not if you stick your hand in a bowling ball right after.
No.
I would only be at bars for karaoke, otherwise I don't drink anywhere but home. I was watching a thing this morning about millennial. What did he say? It was. I think it was like a really short video about why people are like millennials are leaving America, like they're going to like Europe and stuff. And he was making an example of there's no third places. Because most people will like go to work and then they'll go home, and because everything is so expensive, like getting a drink or going to Starbucks, everybody just goes home and drinks at home or makes coffee at home, which is absolutely what I do. And so they don't have like a third place to hang out. Like there's no reason for them to go to a bar or a coffee shop anymore because it's just too expensive. So people are going to Europe for to kind of find that third place that they can go to, somewhere that they like hanging out.
Yeah. So that they actually are allowed to feel like part of a community instead
like,
of an isolated individual.
Yeah, and like I know Lars has some groups like that in where he lives. And so like they still exist, and I have some friends here that go to like salsa classes, but like for the most part for me it's just it's too expensive, and I don't know, I'm an introvert.
Not as convenient.
Yeah, it's more convenient for me to just be at home, especially when I can do everything I want to do at home. So it's I think part of it might be that it is expensive, but a part of it is also just the culture has changed.
Yeah, definitely a culture difference.
Because like I can hang out with all my friends at home. I don't have to go out.
Yeah.
I think I'm done with this one.
Yeah. I'm ready to roll too as well.
You wanna roll?
My third place growing up was my public library, but that was basically just another place for me to go to be alone.
Yeah, I did that too. I spent a lot of summers at libraries, and then when I got older, I started skateboarding. So I hung out at the skate park a lot.
The public library, the best child. What's that?
Man, I spent
sitting.
like a whole summer when I was like 17 at a guitar center. Like I should have just tried to get a job there.
Yeah.
I went there like every weekend. I just drove over there and hung out there, or at Cabela's looking at guns and stuff. Just like, I used to do that. I used to just by myself drive places like the mall and just look at stuff. Like I never bought anything. I just explored. I had a truck and I explored. It was great. Don't do that anymore. It's too much time. What'd you roll? Roll a d20.
I don't know what dice am I rolling.
Yeah, roll a d20.
D20? Okay. A 2.
Halfling crazed hermit from the Arctic whose class is a rogue barbarian. An Arctic crazed rogue barbarian halfling. Yeah. That's really weird because I rolled a die and I also rolled a 2. So I will just do the next one now, which is 2. A human Christmas knight on a horse who uses a sharpened candy cane as a lance. I drew this yesterday, but as a Krampus. So we'll draw it again. I'm not gonna draw the horse, but I will draw a human knight. What color are we doing? Glean. Glurn. This might be my last one. We might do one more. We'll probably try to do one more. I gotta work on a video tonight. I gotta chop some wood. I kinda wanna do like a real close up. Santa Claus.
And they call him Santa Claus.
It's a pretty good one. I haven't watched that yet this year. Probably need to. Thanks again for the wonderful characters. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the good suggestions.
I'm definitely going a little trolly with this.
That's all right. If they wanted a fully serious character, I don't think they would have played Halfling.
That's fair. Because they only went halfway there, right?
Whoa, whoa, halfway there. Whoa, whoa, lizard's on a chair.
Yep.
Jack. Who be those who make halflings angry? No kneecaps, be safe. Got it. Whoa, those who make halflings. There we go.
So my choice of a big old warhammer was appropriate then.
Do you ever feel... Well, maybe. Do you ever feel... Hold on a second. I can't read right now. You ever on a server... I hope you wrote this weird and I'm not like having a seizure. You ever on a server where you feel like your art is completely outclassed by the company it's posting in? Okay. I'm just going to game shops. Yeah. I used to work at a game shop. It was great. I would hang out there when I wasn't at work.
Yeah.
You ever on a server where you feel like your art is completely outclassed? Yeah, I feel like that all the time. Like I'll go into other art discords and I'll post things, and then someone else will post something and I'll just be like, damn. That happened yesterday when I raided Mango. Or I didn't raid. I was raided Oak Tea. Yeah. Someone else raided at the same time, and I was just like, damn, that art's really good. Don't show my stuff. Don't show my stuff. Any characters can be serious or not, depending on how played. Pennywise is the clown, but could not say he's funny. That's true. Like, Pennywise is a good example of kind of player choices. Well, I mean, I guess he's an alien devourer, but I mean, he could be funny. How are you doing, John? Welcome in.
I am definitely influenced by all of the red caps you have drawn.
I'm also drawing a kind of red cap, so see how this goes. This is one Santa who's going out the front door. I rewatched Scrooge the other day. It's not a great movie. Like,
No.
it's got some good parts, but like, I really feel like I might have said this the other day too. Like, it really feels like they just said, "Hey, we're making a Christmas Carol," and then let Bill Murray do whatever the hell he wanted. They're just like, all right,
I mean, that sounds like a lot of the movies in the 80s and 90s that he was in.
yeah. And go.
It's in the hole.
Is that Santa red cap? No witnesses. The Adam Sandler problem? Yeah. There's two types of Adam Sandler movies. Movies that Adam Sandler are in and cares about, and then movies where Adam Sandler's just like, hey, you guys want to go to Hawaii? Let's just go to Hawaii.
I guess that was kind of the same thing that Robin Williams had. He just had that charisma to steal the spotlight no matter
Yeah.
what. Like, I was trying to be a 2-bit character. Sorry.
Yeah. He could be silly or serious on demand. Yeah, he was good. Sounds like all the Jim Carrey movies. He always the same character. Yeah, I mean that was kind of the. There's a handful of people like that. Will Ferrell's kind of the same way.
Should really watch more of Patrick Stewart's Hollywood Boulevard performances.
Does he play Captain Picard in all of them? Is that,
No.
is that you were going with that? That was kind of the blue.
Wrong, Patrick.
Yeah.
Did you not say Patrick Stewart? Who did you say?
Patrick Warburton, didn't you?
I think I said one and was thinking of the other. So there you go. I mean, both of them did pretty good performances. In all honesty.
I don't know who Patrick Warburg is.
Neither do I.
Well, okay. I'm confused then. I'm lost. I'm lost now.
I gotta look up Warburg.
I thought you said Patrick Stewart, which is Captain Picard.
Patrick
Yeah,
Stewart did do a lot
Yeah.
Broadway stuff.
But in the context of our conversation, I'm very confused about that, if that was what you meant. Jack Black is far better than when he is restrained. Yeah, I think so too. Adam Sandler does have more discipline, but I think that comes from him, like, all through the 90s, he just made a bunch of dumb movies. Like, the characters he was playing in each of those movies were very similar.
Yeah.
But, like, I think I like Adam Sandler. Like, Waterboy is great. Billy Madison, great. Like,
Okay, yeah.
Happy Gilmore,
Pat-
great. They're good. But it's a lot of him
Patrick
just yelling.
Warburton was who I was thinking it was. He voiced Kronk, Brock, Samson,
Oh, okay.
Buzz Lightyear.
Gotcha. I mean, he was on Seinfeld. So he ought to be good.
Probably.
No, he was. I can tell you he
No,
was.
I didn't watch Seinfeld, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. He was a reoccurring
Absolutely
character.
was in Seinfeld and the B movie.
Yep.
The series of unfortunate events was also.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He played Lemony Snicket, didn't he?
I think
so.
he did, yeah. Oh, he was also on Ted. Yeah. Oh, he did play the Tick.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He played the Tick in the live action.
Yeah.
They did a live action one a long time ago, before they bought it again on what, Amazon? Did Amazon buy it? Avarice and Astamar Paladin in full plate mail with armored wings. Wow. Put it on the list. This might be our last one for the day. We'll see. I might do another one, but if not, I'll keep it on the list for Friday. Yeah, he's good. Does a candy cane lance have a curve at the end, or is it just like a striped pole?
I mean, both are called candy canes.
So it's just candy cane striped?
I figure it would be a striped pole with the hook at the grip end.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that. But it was very much the thing in Europe that they would just have the straight sticks, like the barber poles. They weren't in the shape of, well, they didn't have the crook at the...
Okay.
Because it was like the difference between the crooked cane and the straight cane.
That's true. I guess candy canes didn't always have the crook. That's a fair point. Peppermint? A peppermint stick?
Original recipe or extra crisp?
Yeah. Jack Black's funny. Now I'm just thinking of a whole bunch of old actors.
Right. With authentic war damage.
I think the curved side would be the handled side, like Druid. Oh, like where you hold the handle at the bottom. That would be where the hook is. Okay. Two returning halos with light imbued by an artificer. Okay, like two chakrams. Spinny blades. Bill Hader's another one of those, like, he can get typecasted really easily into his like Saturday Night Live character,
Yeah.
but he has a pretty good range, which is amazing. And I just don't get to see it very often. He's a really good impressionist, which is also funny.
Bill Hader is one of those actors where if you give them the right direction, they elevate everything they're in.
Interesting trivia. Know why the barber poles are red and white? Poles symbolize the patient's held alone during the bloodletting. Yep, I knew that. Blood and bandages.
What? You're gonna tell me it's not Christian symbolism?
Sell me on that one.
But have you?
I haven't heard that.
I know that they're talking about the barber pole, but the barber pole is related to the candy cane. Have you not heard the air quotes legend of the candy cane?
I have not.
The red and white pattern is supposed to represent the white purity and the red the blood of Christ. I'm assuming it's just another Christian appropriation thing where they said this is ours now and we're just gonna pop our own symbolism on top of it and the rest of you can just fuck off.
You know, because Jesus was a fish.
Yeah.
I mean, either everything's a fish or nothing's a fish.
And everything is a fish, so.
So now that that's settled. Jack Nicholson is the best Joker, period. I mean, good.
He played a very distinctive role.
He kind of played just Jack Nicholson, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the Joker. Which, I agree, he was a really good Joker.
I really like Heath Ledger's Joker. I did.
Yeah. I think his is my favorite.
He also played a very distinctive Joker.
I'm trying to think of the other Jokers.
Joaquin Phoenix is just an amazing actor.
He is, yeah.
So.
I still think that's a good movie, but I don't know if it's if it counts as a like
as a villain origin story.
Because that movie I think could stand alone, and it could just be called
100%.
like The Jonkler, and it would be fine. Like it would like.
I mean,
unrelated to Batman, still a good movie.
it really reminds me of what's that? With the glass. What's that movie?
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Yeah. It reminds me of that type of a superhero villain movie, right?
Yep. No, it's a good one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there.
That was the movie that tricked me into thinking that crap. M. Night Shyamalan was a good director.
Oh yeah.
No, I love that movie. I watched. I think I've watched all of his stuff up to the Avatar.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lady in the Water. It was great. It was weird. The Village was predictable but weird. Yeah.
Sixth Sense was a lot of fun.
It was good. It was good. But you gotta throw up your format. I think every Joker is different. Mark Hamill was awesome. And the Caesar from Adam West was... Yeah, Caesar, that's right. It's pretty good. I think Mark Hamill could just be the Batman. Or, like, the Batman Joker now. Like, they could just do it. They could make a really good movie with him doing that.
Agreed.
Yeah. Or he could play as the Batman who laughed.
Yeah. Gary Oldman is the best Commissioner Gordon. I'm just going to say it.
I don't really have any specific requirement for my Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, I have no feelings on Commissioner Gordon, so okay.
I just like Gary Oldman. DC canon is there's 3 Jokers: the serious criminal, the prankster, and the psychopath. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, I remember reading that, the golden era, the silver era, and I don't remember what the other one was called.
I think the other one's for like, it's for like the video games. Like, I I don't remember what it's called either. Is it the New Age? There's Golden Age, Silver Age, and then whatever.
It might
just be modern.
I don't know.
I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, I remember reading that theory a lot when the Batman Who Laughs came about first couple times. Yeah, I remember that. It's an interesting theory.
I'm not really into what DC is doing anymore, comics-wise.
I watched some of the old Superman cartoons.
Oh, they're
over
great.
Thanksgiving. They're all right, but they're very dated. Like just
Oh, sure. I think that I still feel that there are better superhero comic versus the new Superman.
I haven't seen any of the new ones. I think I'm about done. I'm burning out a little bit.
Time for a break.
Yeah. Go chop some wood. Work on some video. Maybe we can get a video out this week. Pretty sweet.
I'm gonna make some macaroni and cheese.
I had noodles for lunch, so I don't need lunch. I gotta figure out what I'm doing for dinner, though. I got sweet potatoes. Could make something good. Wish YouTube worked sometimes. Monica, welcome in. Go play Paul Bunyan. Like, why you should play Paul Bunyan.
Or Johnny Appleseed.
I thought you were gonna say why you should play Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's another one that's just he only plays Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? He does it really well.
Yep. Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. Paul Rudd is convenience store clerk.
Paul Rudd is love interest in...
Oh, go play Paul Bunyan because I'm chopping wood. Yeah. Sorry.
Paul Rudd is love interest in Ghostbusters universe.
Oh yeah. He did an okay job. I like that new movie. It was good. I'm excited for the new one. It's always Friday. Yep. Yeah, no problem, Monica. We'll have the same list for Friday, and we'll be back and we'll do that. We got through a couple today. We spent some time on some of these though, so pretty happy with them. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. That's all I got. It seems like people don't show up until a little later. Would it be better for me to push the streams back to like noon? Do people not start showing up till 2 o'clock? Could probably do that.
I don't know.
Golden Age, Bronze Age, and the crown was death in the family. Bronze Age. I don't remember the Bronze Age. Yeah. Later is a little better. Okay. Interesting. Well, maybe we'll push it back a little bit. Who knows? Okay. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. We are on Twitch and YouTube, so whichever one works better for you, let me know. Other than that, I'll post all these on the Discord so people can use them for their games, home games. And, yeah, stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. We'll catch everybody later. Thanks for watching again. Bye, everybody.